Hello everyone, this is Nilesh Yadav and this is my first video on the series of hacking tutorial. In this today video, I'm going to start with a very minuscule attack that is known as phishing attack. It is basically a very small attack, but you see the end result of this attack is a very major from the perspective of an uh, individual. Okay, so phishing is a type of social engineering attack where we steal user data, where we misguide our legitimate user to click on some malicious link with an intention that we can install a malware on his system, or we can freeze his system, or we can make a ransomware attack, or we can harvest his login credential. This is basically the end result. So let's start this attack. So I have two virtual machine on my system, Windows XP and Kali Pentest, or you can say Kali Debian distro. To make this attack a successful one, I need to communicate these two machines with each other. So if I do ifconfig, it will give me an IP of 192.168.202.130, and in my XP machine I have an IP of uh, I'm sorry. So I have IP 192.168.202.161, and if I make a ping here 192.168.168.202.1 what was the IP of 130. If I do that, I'll get a reply from my Kali machine. So this XP machine is connecting with Kali, that is okay. Now if I do the vice versa for my XP machine 192.168.202.161, and okay, so this is not connecting with XP machine. I think the problem is, okay, yeah, so the problem is in my firewall. I have to turn it off. uh, so if I go to security center and Windows firewall and I turn it off, and now if I do the thing, I think, yeah, so it is, it is connected with my XP machine. You can see the ICMP echo request or response message. Easy. Okay, so now we are clear to go this. Okay, so I start with my social engineering tool SET and I fire it up. uh, okay, so we will go by social engineering attack. So I'll choose one, and then we need a spear phishing attack vectors. That means we are particularly using an organization or an individual person to attack. So if I choose a website attack vectors, okay, let's say I do two, and then I have something called as credential harvester attack method. We need to I mean, we are accessing the login credential of our target. We will get his username and password with the help of this phishing attack. So we'll choose 3 here, and then we need a site cloner. In this option we will clone our Facebook web page. I think that's an easy way to do this attack. So I'll choose 2, and then I need a kind of post back, or a kind of a system which can listen the response from my target. So I'll set my IP address, that is ifconfig. You can check it out here again, 192.168.202.130. So I need my machine to listen the the response from the target. So I set that, and now enter the URL to clone. So I'll choose www.facebook.com. You can use any URL. It can be a bank website, it can be a Gmail, or it can be anything that you want to. Generally, if you choose a high PR website like Facebook, like Google, or a kind of banking website, that will give you a very vast result in terms of harvesting login credential or attacking the target system. So I choose www.facebook.com, and within a fraction of seconds or maybe 1 minute, it will create a facebook.com login page, and we will access that page from my Windows XP machine. Okay, so it has been created. Now if I go to my browser, you can choose any browser here. I'm opening Firefox. Okay, so it takes some time. My machine is completely slow. Okay, and if I click, or if I type my Kali machine IP address 192.168, sorry, 168.202.160, what was the IP address? It's 130. So if I go and 202.1330, okay. So you will see facebook.com, my malicious link is being opened here. And if I do, if I go for my login credential, test@gmail.com, and my password is already working actually, 123456, and if I press enter, you can see this machine has captured those username and password. Here you can see email is test@gmail.com and password is 123456. So this is basically very easy method to get the email and password. You will find this attack is very smooth and very simple, but the end result, as I was talking about, the result is really pretty much devastating and very a kind of leads to um, a major effect in the cybersecurity or the security or the privacy of that particular user or the individual. Uh, this link that we had seen, this 192.168.202.130, in the next tutorial we will see how to modify this so that it looks like a legitimate Facebook web page or the login credential page. This looks somehow and awkward. Any security professional or any computer engineer or computer science person can easily understand that this page is not a legitimate page. This can be seen as a malicious activity. So we will modify this IP or IP address to somehow look like a Facebook URL in my next video. Thank you so much for listening me.